Alright, you're back with comedian David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. Why? It's a long fucking story. Shut up. So I jumped on the scales today to check my weight and it was not fucking pretty. 102 kilos. 102. I've never been over 100 ever. It's about 80 kilograms of hip. I have the fucking bitchiest hips. I'm like a Latina salsa dancer with my hips. You know those inflatable donuts kids use at the pool? So you can throw them in the pool unsupervised while you check your Instagram and they won't drown, hopefully. That's like my hips. My hips are just a fucking donut. It's so fucking depressing. 102 kilos. In pounds, that's like 225. 102 kilos, but in fairness to myself, I was wearing a very heavy t-shirt. I had some extremely heavy shorts on, and I had my phone in my pocket. How much does a phone weigh? Like 8 kilos? T-shirts are like 3. I'm probably hovering around the 88. So I'm in pretty good condition, really. No, that's bad. I never thought I'd get over 100. The closest I've ever been to 100 before was when my wife was pregnant and we went into the hospital. This is about 6 weeks before she's due. So I've just been on like an 8-month freak out before your first kid bender. I drank a lot during her pregnancy. What are you meant to do? A kid? I can barely look after myself at this point. No, I can't look after myself. I have no adult skills. I drove to that hospital appointment on my learner's permit. I didn't even have a license then. So we're at the hospital and we're waiting for the doctor. And I jump on the scales just to see where I'm at in life. And I was 99.9. In fairness, it was the middle of winter and I was wearing a heavy jacket and all that sort of shit that day. So I was probably around the 98. I'm like, I can't bring a kid into the world as some fat guy on his learner's permit. I've got to make some serious changes. I can't remember what those changes were now, but they weren't long lasting. They lasted for a few weeks, just to get me some buffer from that 100. I definitely did drink a lot through the pregnancy. A lot. I think there were a few days there that I didn't even come home, which isn't a good look. It's not something I'm proud of. Everyone talks about how hard it is on women to have a kid. What about the men? What about us? Our life's going to change too. That's what runs through your head. It's like, how much freedom am I going to have now? How much freedom am I going to lose? How different is my life going to be? Well, I need to be there all the time. What age do kids move out of home? How much does education cost? Not that it matters. It'll be public school for sure. I'll still be able to drink Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday. Surely. This is what happened to me. Because my wife's Indian. Her parents were going fucking nuts about having a kid. They never shut up about it after we got married. And I put my foot down. I'm like, listen, you can shut the fuck up about the kid thing. Because I'm not even entertaining it until October next year. I gave myself a full year to think about it. My date was October 17, my birthday. I'm like, I'll start thinking about it after that. And for that whole fucking year, I didn't even think about it once. I just did that thing where it's like so far away, you don't even give a fuck. You're like, it's a year away. I'll start thinking about that in 6 months. And then 6 months came and I'll be like, it's 6 months away. I'll think about that in a couple of months. Then finally the year came around and my wife was like, we've got to start trying now. Today's the day. She's like, you promised. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember promising. And I was still like, do I even want a kid? What the fuck is going to happen with a kid? In my head, I was like, all right, we'll start trying so I don't get hassled, really. And that was the main reason. I just don't want to be hassled. I was like, it'll take like 6-8 months, maybe a year to get pregnant. By then, I'll have digested the idea and I'll be able to prepare myself. Well, it happened first go. Very first fucking go. My wife did the pregnancy test early and I was taking a shower and she's come in with the test and she's like, can you see anything here? And I looked at it very closely and there was the faintest, like barely visible fucking line. But in my gut, I knew. And I almost fainted. I'm like, no, that's not a fucking line. Can't be a line. It's not a line. That's just what happens when you pee on it. It brings out a little bit of the outline of the line. Just wait a few days, we'll take another one. Then a few days later, she took another one, and the brightest blue line you could fucking imagine. I'm like, all right, well, I better get in as much drinking as I possibly can because this shit's not going to last forever now. Anyway, 102 fucking kilos. I gotta do something about that. All right, that's it from me tonight. Add me on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Send us in some stories for Fucked Up Friday. That's a couple of days away, so send in some stories. And that's it. I'll see you fucking later.